button. Who's got the button? Button.
I got the button.
Too bad. I stole it from you and pressed these things to have us go live. And welcome to Children of
Hi.
The excitement is palpable.
I don't know if you said that word right.
I did not.
That was way more metal than we've ever done.
The excitement is Palpatine.
Palpable.
I've become numb to these mispronunciations ever since he doesn't. He just refuses to say Sahagin correctly.
Sahagin?
He just refuses
Squaggin?
At this point.
Squaggin? Where did the K come from?
It's a Q.
This is what I've
That's
dealt
worse.
With. This is what I've dealt with for a year in a Pathfinder game.
Hey, this is also the same man who, even after multiple times of me trying to help correct him, still will bounce between Grand Prix and Grand Prix.
I do that on purpose.
It's because he's a grand prick.
Look, and also I will tell you, it took me like a couple of years to switch it from, to get things like melee correct, for instead of melee.
Melee. Well, that's just like your handwriting as well.
My handwriting's terrible.
Mine sucks too.
And a Cooper for the cooch.
Handwriting and spelling, it's just as bad as my pronunciations.
I mean, my spelling and my grammar is immaculate.
No, anything English and Tantus do not mix.
My scribbles, I just make scribble notes. I think these are for... What are these for?
He can't even read his own handwriting half the time.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what my notes are for. Yeah. Over here is some notes for when I was doing some off-screen stuff from Final Fantasy 12. I was making notes of, loot I needed to kill a bunch of things for. Because I wasn't going to remember. I have to make notes for myself. Anyway, welcome! There's some things I probably should remember. Anyway.
Remembering things is for chumps.
Last episode... there was a nice airship, the Hellkite 2 that was completed, and then a horrible doomsday sky fortress was reawakened from the depths of the ocean.
Hate when that happens.
Unfortunately, it is somehow our problem.
Maybe because you've made rivals out of the people that are doing it, that kind of thing.
They kept fucking with us.
They did.
We didn't start this.
That is true. You didn't start it.
Well ended.
Mm-hmm.
Damn right we will.
Mm-hmm.
By setting them on fire.
That's a little...
At the very least, we'll set them on fire. Motherfucker stole my goddamn bag
I could try absorbing them all.
No. The Goblin dies. I'm allowed to say that I'm a Goblin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, I'll absorb the goblin and then drink your blood.
No. My blood dies too.
You merge them together into some kind of super goblin that has, all the knowledge of the universe?
If I, get rid of all my blood, would he have control over me anymore? Would drinking my blood do anything?
He doesn't have really control over it. He's just in
an intelligence boost.
If I got rid of all my blood, no more blood, would the blood become inactive?
You don't know?
I mean, it was still a part of you, so it probably would still work.
There's only one way to find out. We're going to have to exsanguinate Kaz. It's the only logical course of action.
So you're going to become a mummy?
That's not what exsanguinate means.
No, it dries you out completely.
No, you wouldn't dry you necessarily.
Your skin would still retain water.
You still got juicy bits.
It's just blood.
Yeah. There's other fluids
Unless
in your body.
You replace it with something, I think you would die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll go back to Urborg, find a vampire.
But vampires still have blood.
Yes, but they would exsanguinate mine.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably change you into a vampire.
That's only if I then drink their blood. Haven't you read Interview with a Vampire?
Okay, without any blood, you would die.
Not if I do something better than blood. Oil.
Anyway, you also heard that there was a signal that was very similar to the energy signal that came from the Sky Fortress Castilian, coming from Northland, from the Arctic. near the Arctic Circle, to be the North Pole, to be exact.
I'm suggesting we get some winter clothing.
We don't have time. You're gonna have to freeze. I'm not sorry. I'm making it everyone else's problem, though.
I think not dying is important.
Strong words from the person who's already died like 12.5 times.
And from someone who has the experience of death, I suggest we don't.
Okay, well.
I do have money. I could buy clothing.
We all have money.
You guys,
We all have money.
you
However,
guys, like indiscriminately rich. You forget that.
no. Cole's the richest. He pays for the clothes.
No, I pay for my. I don't need to buy clothes. I probably have a bunch of winter clothes.
I've
One
been wearing a
outfit?
long coat this
I
whole
probably have
time.
more than one outfit.
I'm probably fine.
I have one outfit, and the shirt is barely a shirt.
All right,
I mean, I have regular shape-changing clothes, but they're not for the cold.
I'll pay for Carrion's and no one else's.
I'll pay for my own.
I have fur. I have a fur.
Most of the time, like 99% of the time, Claud's clothes are just part of him that are just like, so it's not really the best insulating factor.
I'm not gonna buy clothes. I'm just gonna say I have a winter coat.
Mm-hmm.
In preparation for the cold of the upper atmosphere, I have a winter coat.
Okay, sure. Why not?
Yeah. Spending money is for chumps.
So, at least 3 of you will have winter outfits, and one of you just got a nice coat.
That's fair, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good winter coat. It's like fur-lined and shit.
Yeah.
The shirt.
Sure.
So, what is the who are you bringing with you? What are you bringing with you, kind of thing, as you are heading to the north?
Kesh has to be brought, right?
Yeah.
She had knowledge that there had been at very least research stations in that area, places where there were people that were. She wasn't sure the exact nature of their research. Whether it was scientific, magical, that kind of thing. You know, for your research on like kind of ley lines and mana flows and stuff like that, the pole is a very powerful kind of like nexus. The fact that there is a magnetic field on the planet, the same energies of the magnetic field draw a lot of the magical energy of your planet to it as a kind of nexus point. The problem being it's the depths of the Arctic, and it is bitch-ass cold, so no one usually fucks around with it.
So it's a colorless, snow-covered land?
Yes. The Northlands are known to be occupied by very few things. There is a species of ice dragon. There are werewolves that patrol the Icelands. Yeah. Very savage, like, almost like... They're assumed to be descended of a group of barbarians that learn to adapt by becoming basically one with nature itself in a way. That's the rumor. They're not really the hot werewolves. They're kind of like the bloodthirsty murder you werewolves.
Could be hot.
Some of them could be hot. Probably not, but most of them probably not. Could have a couple of exceptions here.
Any core out there?
No, the core don't go there. They would blend in with the Arctic though. But
that's why I was asking. I didn't know if there might be a core colony up there.
No, it is beyond their abilities to survive. They're mountain dwellers. They're not Arctic dwellers. They
like leathery, like strappy clothes. It's not warm enough for the Arctic.
No. Yeah. Also, there's known to be like some various groups of shamans that occasionally get up there. Specialized ones that are masters of ice and frost magic. Many of them are rumored to have existed since the Ice Age in their learning and ways, but again, they tend to be not organized. There isn't a lot of heavy colonies. There are some areas that do see some colonization. Specifically, the area that has a few coastal villages is Upper Vendith, which is, if we're looking on the map here, I'm going to shift ping you all here, this area here. For the map on the screen, it's the area nice right above Terracer. That nice peninsula that's coming down.
You don't have the map up.
Yeah, we're on.
Yeah, we're on forest.
I forgot you were on forest. Sorry. Let me move you over then.
Yay!
Yeah, so over here.
Oh.
So, this area is still Arctic-y, and it's, again, it's one of the reasons Terracer suffered more during the Ice Age than a lot of other continents, because it's so close to this area where the Arctic kind of moves down from. So, this is probably, like, more tundra area here in, Vendith, but it's still not great, you know. And the Arctic is a supercontinent and stuff. So this area is tundras, mountains, and pine forests. Vendith. It is the closest thing to civilization, and the majority of werewolves would kind of be found here, along with Lurgoyfs and Yetis.
Yetis?
Yetis, yeah.
Are they hot?
No, they're cold.
Probably not.
There you go.
Yeah. The town of Scary is Skerry, is the main colony, the largest one in all of Videth. Beyond Videth, the unfortunate thing is that a lot of the territory is not colonized. As soon as you get up kind of past this parallel here, you're getting into areas where it becomes more snow, ice, mountains. There are still some spread out tundra along the coastlines, and areas there that a little bit more, some species of greenery can exist at certain seasons, honestly, but again, it's not great. And then finally, though, towards the North Pole, just ice and snow. And an ice cap, kind of glacial ice cap, which has existed for, well, honestly, all of known history. So, that is the territory you'll be heading into. You can head straight north to the North Pole. You could stop by Vendith if you want to, like, find out if there's any information about what's going on towards the north or anything like that. Up to you what you want to do to go about this. You have an airship, so you can go any choice in the exploration that you want.
Personally, I think it couldn't hurt to stop by Videth just to get some early information first. Everyone else agree?
That's fine.
I completely agree. Information's always helpful.
Okay.
Usually, yeah.
Certainly. You can head for Scary. As I said, the majority of the human population is in a number of, like, port towns that are in the area. They do some trade, like certain types of fish, some lumber, certain resources they can get from the mountains occasionally. But again, because it's so cut off, they don't have a lot of trade. And certainly more in modern times now, trade has opened up more. But they were cut off sometime theoretically during before the Ice Age, and existed the entire Ice Age on their own. And then, you know, it's been more the last few hundred years, probably before the Phyrexian invasion, that they were kind of beginning to be connect back up with the rest of the world. So they were a colony of someone, but honestly that knowledge is lost to the ages. It's sort of like, our ancestors moved in here long ago from somewhere. I don't know. It's been thousands of years. Anyway, So Scary is a kind of port town, nestled a small bay, kind of along the shoreline, kind of leading up to a pine forest and a few mountains in the area. There's a tundra area to the north that stretches on for a number of miles, and to the east of them, because they're kind of like on the south western side of the peninsula, and to the east of them, pine forest along the mountain ranges. They find themselves a very good area with a river that comes in through them that leads deeper into the continent. That's a good place for trade. Certainly, an airship showing up is a spectacle.
Do we have to approach from the air?
You did make your ship so it was water. It could land in the water. It'll be a very unusual looking boat then. Like, really unusual looking.
That's fine. Unusual looking boat is easier to explain than airship.
Yeah. So if you want to approach by the water, you'll definitely still get a lot of looks, because you don't look like a boat that's really very well ocean worthy, you know?
Oh, they're judging my shit. That's... My boat is perfectly ocean worthy.
Mm-hmm. 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 It's ocean of the sky worthy.
It can... Look, I specified it had the hull shape of a normal sea craft.
Yeah.
With the bit more pointy bits.
Mm-hmm.
Very prominent prow.
There's probably like one ship that seems to be coming in from an unnamed other nation. It's currently not flying any kind of flags or anything. It seems to be some kind of merchant ship though, and a number of smaller fishing vessels, like one-mast fishing vessels, are parked in the port here. Certainly, there's space for your ship to come in, and there really isn't a dock master to greet you. No one really says a lot, you know, they just are kind of going about their business. There's a large fish market near here, and everything seems to be going down. Again, like, you get eyes about, like, huh, that's a strange looking ship, or like, you know, who's this that came into town? That kind of, like, looks, probably.
Well,
it's a lot of, like, you can see everybody's, like, heavily clothed in lots of, like, very thick fur outfits. It's a seemingly like entirely human population. Whether or not there's any other species that have visited from the group of Dominaria, they aren't visible right now, at very least. There could be some aboard that merchant vessel, but they're probably aboard the merchant vessel. The town itself, it's small. There is a tavern. And tavern/bar/inn that seems to be near the docks. A number of small shops. What looks to be like a stone.
Stonemason?
No, I was gonna say a stone. It would be normally like what a fountain would be, but there's no water in it. It's just like a big statue almost, but it looks like it could have been a fountain maybe. But it looks to be of some kind of like strange creature's skull, carved out of stone.
Baller.
And that seems to be towards the center of town. The town itself is like effectively two roads. One that goes kind of straight out from the port and kind of heads not quite... It doesn't quite go straight because it kind of follows the curve of the river a little bit, it looks like. And then there's a secondary road that kind of comes in as like a V, kind of moving in from a different direction, and then also kind of clipping off and going towards a bridge across the river. That is scary for you. You've arrived in town. As I said, no one seems to be bothering with you. Everybody's going about their business.
Inn, probably.
Okay.
They would have information.
All right.
Or at least people. That's where probably a majority of people are going to be.
All right. So local inn/tavern/bar is the Bloated Whale.
Of course it is.
It has like what looks to be like a whale skull built into like the archway over the main door.
Okay.
Bad pun.
Mm-hmm.
Not surprising.
There may or may not be some whalers up here because, again, it's a thing for the Arctic.
Probably have the human and can appear like human folks lead the discussion.
Mm-hmm.
We're definitely going to be the first goblin and definitely the first tiefling they've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I can try to gather some information.
You're probably arriving around midday. Even at midday, it seems to be pretty busy here. There seems to be probably a number of locals. And a couple of people that look to be probably from the local merchant ship. They're dressed slightly differently. They've got, like, warm clothes that seems a little bit more, like, actually built like warm clothes. Like, a lot of people here just seem to, like, have, like, very, like, fur-based things that have been, like, slightly made into clothes. You know, they keep things very simple and warming. These guys actually have, like, outfits that look to be, like, warm weather outfits. A lot more than locals. And they seem to be, like, milling about a table, drinking a bunch. There's, like, a old human man and seemingly a old human woman that seem to be both working here. The old man is behind the bar, and the old woman seems to be going out and, you know, serving stuff. You can take the bar, you can take a table. What do you want to do?
There's enough of us to justify a table, right?
Sure.
It's four people.
4's a bit much for a bar.
Yeah,
I mean,
it'd be a little rude.
I'm going to assume that because you're kind of with her, Kesh is probably
5
with you, so 5.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a table, not bar.
No. So the old woman will kind of, at some point, kind of saunter up to you. What can I get for you?
Oh,
Something
you said it's like
warm.
Nordic?
Probably a little Nordic.
Can I get aquavit?
I don't know. Probably not.
Really? They wouldn't have aquavit? Oh,
I don't know.
Damn. I love aquavit.
Mm-hmm.
House ale.
I'm saying something warm. Like
Yeah.
tea, coffee.
Do they have tea?
Oh, they probably have like a good like mulled wine for like a hot drink.
Yes.
Yeah.
They can get you mulled wine. They probably have some herb teas. Honestly, that's for like hot drinks are a like one. They probably also have something like it's equivalent to like a coffee, but it's made from something else that it's like just another kind of like bitter strong drink, you know.
I'll go for a mull wine.
Yeah, Cole will probably get like, I don't know, a coffee type thing.
Yeah. So you get like you'll make some orders of some hot drinks. She'll bring them out. If you need any of the food, currently we have a nice blubber stew in the back that's on the fire, and we got a few fresh breads. I hope you travelers like hard wheat. Not much grows up here north that's not hardy, and breaks your teeth if you're not careful. She'll kind of do a chuckle. And she'll head on her way. So they have very hard-grained bread. It's the hardy shit.
I want to make a perception check and just see if I can overhear any like conversations that might be of interest.
Sure. Go ahead and roll it.
It's pretty good.
Let's see here. The barkeep seems to be talking about the old man. The barkeep seems to be talking about with one of the like probably fisherman about how like there's just been some weird things with the catches lately. He feels like it's not less that there's less fish and there's more fish, which is kind of unusual. Feels like there's a surge of fish in the area. He's like, I've been really successful, which I'm not, he's thinking, the fisherman's like, I'm not complaining about, but it is very strange. I'm hoping there's not a weird sign about something. I would like for if the fish are moving farther north for some kind of reason, if maybe a sea beast has moved into an area, I would hope for that they would stay, but they could also migrate farther if they're moving into this area. I know. There seems to be another group that's playing a card game of some kind. Something like a blackjack, a poker, or something like that. They're seemingly gambling away mid-afternoon. They seem to be discussing, because they seem to be also fishermen. Sounds like they've got people at the market selling their catch, and they were workers on the vessels, so they're basically waiting for their cut of the cash and just drinking away early in the afternoon. Getting some food. It seems like they have some, they do have some, drinks, but it's more like it looks like they're probably grabbing lunch or something.
Right.
The people that are working for the merchant seem to be chatting a little bit about you, discussing who you are and what your reason for being up here is.
Tourism.
They're more like, are they here? The comments
probably worried about competition.
Yeah, their comments are more like, they don't look like merchants.
So I'm going to lean into our table a little bit and quietly say, well, apparently there's been an uptick in the amount of fish in the area.
I am here now, it's true.
The captain seems to be happy about it, but also concerned that why are they migrating up here?
It is concerning, yeah.
Could be because of the disturbance down south.
It's far away. The disturbance a little closer. We don't know what kind of reaction that thing is set off.
True. And I think the people from the merchant vessel are interested in us because they're concerned about competition.
Makes sense.
Well, I know one surefire way to get them to, underestimate us and not worry about us as competition. We could go lose a few hands of cards.
They weren't playing any cards. It was the fishermen who were playing.
Oh, different group of fishermen.
Yeah. Not the merchants.
Not the merchant.
Mm-hmm. As you're kind of chatting, a older gentleman who definitely seems to be a local will kind of move in, and kind of greet himself to the barkeep, who he calls Gunther. Ah, Gunther. Fresh mulled wine, if you will. Hello, hello. He'll kind of move over to the merchants first, and how are you enjoying the city? I hope our trade can do well with you. And then you kind of move over to your table and be like, so, you're the local, the newcomers that are coming in, the local hot topic, aren't you?
I guess you could say that.
Sure.
Suppose so.
I am Morris. I am equivalent to the mayor in this town.
Nice
Pleasure to meet you.
So, what brings you north up here, travelers? We don't get many goblins or any of your kind. Apologies, I'm not familiar with it, and to you, Carrie. North up here.
Mentally say to you, Kaz, how much do we want to say, if anything?
Do we have any reason to lie?
I don't think so.
We're actually heading farther north. Just stopping here for a bit of rest and possibly some information.
Well, he's going to kind of move over from an empty table, grab a chair, move it over and kind of pull it up and sit down, getting next between you and, I'll say you're arranged around the table, you're kind of sitting around me on the screen. So between you and Cole, and be like, perhaps I can assist you then, or point you in the right direction. I like all visitors to my, the village I look after to be well taken care of, especially if they've got business up here at the north. You less hardy southerners oftentimes come here to look into things, various stuff, investigate possible mines or resources or all kinds of things, and many of your type do not return. So it'd be best that I can help you out so that you perhaps can return from whence you came alive and safe. And with information that can help you, perhaps.
Returning alive would be nice.
Agreed.
Well, we're interested. Have there been any strange events coming down from further north?
Strange how?
This is me trying to figure out how to say this.
There are always strange things here in the Northlands.
Any type of signals or beacons?
Signals?
What are beacons?
Beacons. No strange lights in the north, if that's what you mean. Something like that. Certainly, if there was strange lights to the north, I would have heard about that. That would be a beacon. Signal?
About how many days has it been?
Honestly, since the thing arrived, maybe we'll say like a week.
Anything unusual within the last week?
There has been. Word has not come down this far yet. We do have a number of hunters and travelers that go farther north. They're often out for weeks at a time. The northern tundras become much more dangerous. Lagyorf and Yeti do not like travelers in their domains if you are not smart about it. And
do you have any... Sorry.
You can ask her question. I was just going to say that the werewolf tribes are also hard to deal with. Many of the local hunters have deals with them in order to have passage in their lands.
Do you have anyone in your town that practices magic?
Yes. We have a few. There's a young woman who went to some form of magic school down south. She was gifted with spellcraft, and when a researcher came to visit our lands, her gift interested in it. They invited them to their schooling. After they finished their school, they did decide to come back here and support our town with magical items and techniques that might be able to help us. There's also a representative of the ice shamans who does live here. If we ever need to contact them about something, I would talk to them. But the representative is very... The ice shamans are fickle people. They have their own ways and means of doing things, and going beyond that ways and means is not always something that they would look to us to ask. Asking for help for them is not something normally accepted, I will say. That's perhaps the way to talk about it.
Would it be possible to set up a meeting with the ice shaman representative? We believe what we're looking into is magical in nature, and they probably would understand the local flow of magic in the area better than anyone.
I can let them know that travelers from the south are interested in local magics and inquire with them.
That would be very appreciative.
All right,
And maybe we could also meet with the other practitioner you mentioned. We also went to a magical college, probably one of the branches. We actually went to several different branches, and We actually might be able to talk to them about any news.
They run a small shop in town. The Ice Cauldron. He'll give you directions to it and he'll be like, feel free to talk to them all you want. Their doors are open to the public when it is time for business. There are those that need to apply her magical trades sometimes, and others that do not. But she is open for when it is required.
Thank you. We will definitely talk to her. Team, are we planning to maybe stay the night? That might give time to get a word back from the shaman if they're willing to speak, and then they could always look for us here.
As much as I would like to be on the way as quickly as possible, it is not a horrible idea to stay the night.
I agree. The town is lovely enough.
Well then, if you can get word to the shaman and they are amicable of meeting, you could always let us know here.
He'll be like, many of our people are a little hesitant when it comes to outsiders, but most of you tend to be very amicable, and we will remain also the same as long as you are. So if you wish to stay, talk with the fine shopkeep here and arrange it, or if you wish to stay on your boat, I will let them know you'll be in the area.
Thank you.
Alright. So, what do you want to do then? The man will walk off.
Do we want to arrange rooms here for the night? Just so then we're in town and it's probably a little simpler?
It would be easier to contact us.
Remember, the person behind the bar is Gunther, and he's Marg. M-R-G-K.
I might prefer to stay on the Hellkite. It is an oddity and I want to ensure its security.
Okay.
It's understandable.
Certainly.
I also don't know if we want people visiting the Hellkite. That's why I'm suggesting at least some of us may stay here.
Sure.
For word. We could always, send word to you.
I will remain on the ship. You all may stay here if you so choose.
Okay.
I will. Who wants to stay here? I'll go up to the Gunther and see if we can find accommodations.
Yeah, I'll stay here. I'm tired of pussy.
Have
Still
some
scared of
steady
swimming?
land.
Cole will also stay in a room here.
I can't swim! Even with the cloak, I just kind of flounder.
Do we want to get 3 separate rooms or 2 rooms?
They have honestly 2 double rooms available, or a common room. There's like a common room that's on like a 3rd floor. So it's sort of like the ceiling's a little lower. It's like a half attic 3rd floor for just common rest area.
A bunch of people. Yeah, a bunch of people.
Yeah, we've stayed in that type of thing before.
Yeah. And the thing is, it looks a couple of the people from the merchant ship are taking up a couple of their other rooms. They've got like.
I mean, we could always just take. We could always see if we can get 1 double room. I don't really sleep. I just have to meditate, so that would give you guys both a bed, and I can just sit in a chair and relax. Okay. I'll talk to Gunther and see if one of the double rooms is available.
Sure. You can arrange for it.
Q.
Mm-hmm. The price of the room comes with the dinner. It's still blubber stew, honestly. And in the morning, it is some goat cheese and salted meats and hard bread.
Okay.
Along with effectively their version of coffee, which is they don't have sweeteners.
Yeah, some kind of bitter root, probably.
Yeah, bitter root drink. It's strong and it wakes you up in the morning.
Anyone try any shit with my boat?
Certainly there's some people that will come by, like seemingly people with extra time and will like check things out. Doesn't look as though anybody will bother your boat.
My boat is scary.
Before we retire for the night, do we want to go try to see if the magic shop is open?
Yeah, it's only like noon.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You can head for the ice cauldron. It's got like a big iron cauldron hanging above the door, with the words kind of like written in the common script, ice cauldron on it. It also seems to probably be written in like a local dialect too. Probably like a local written script.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a quaint little shop. It's along the main road where a bunch of like little shops are that seem to be plying their main trade.
Okay. Does it look open?
Oh yeah. Going inside, the shop has what looks to be like a bunch of cloaks for sale. There's an area that seems to be a bunch of like various concoctions. Some of which may be magical, some of which might just be alchemical.
Magical site.
Yeah, some of which are just alchemical, some of which are magical.
I mean, the cloak's magical?
Yes, they all seem to have some like basic low-level enchantment on it. Effectively, they're like cloaks of endure elements.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Might be useful.
Yeah. So it's if anybody can afford them, like, it's probably like, the local hunters might want to save up a bunch of money and buy a magical cloak that helps you survive better out there, they get some good, game coming in. Hey, it's an opportunity to get a really nice cloak. And honestly, it's like a first level spell. It's not that expensive overall,
Yeah.
I'm probably going to see how much they are.
Mm-hmm. There is a woman with like a small pair of glasses in like a pair of like furred robes, reading a book in the kind of at the back of the desk, like kind of like the counter, effectively, of this place.
Greetings.
Oh, she like kind of close the book, kind of put it down. Greetings. How can I help you?
One, we're looking for some general information, but also I'm interested.
Welcome to our town. Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
You looking for information? What?
Information relating to magical occurrences that may be going on.
What? Mission? What?
We're doing things.
Hi.
Has there been weird magical stuff happening around lately?
Who are you?
We came from a weird boat.
We're adventurers, man.
Something like that.
Okay.
And we have detected some kind of odd magical signal coming from further up north.
Are you talking about the big thing? Showed up a couple of months ago?
Not that one. We're aware of that.
No.
Okay.
No, not that.
Just okay, because people.
Nothing to do with that.
I have been inquired about that by some people.
Not aware of that one.
No.
Okay.
No knowledge whatsoever of
this
that.
would have been within the last week or so.
Last week or so. I mean, I don't think anything happened that I noticed. I heard some local talk with one of the shaman that's in town. They sometimes talk to me because I'm the only one in town other than them that really knows about magical stuff, and mana and stuff like that. They were talking about something that there's something going on with the natural ley lines. My expertise isn't in ley line magic and the flow of natural mana. Sorry to say. Not even really good at ice magic, even though I'm in a frozen place.
So, what's your thing then?
Oh,
what's your main area?
Alchemy?
I don't know.
Pretty good.
Suitable profession?
Well, you know, I know a few things about some other magics too, you know, that's why we got some other stuff at the shop here, but, that was a natural thing. My school learning really didn't hit up the alchemy as much, you know, but I learned a few other things, but it's, come from a family of herbalists anyway. So I was able to...
fellow Tellurian graduate?
Oh, you too!
Actually,
twice.
Sorry,
the three of us, at least.
My daughter works at one of the...
Oh, neat.
Which location did you go to?
Oh, I went to the one in Orvada.
Oh, that's where I'm from.
Oh, yeah. There was this nice merchant who, he was really here originally for trade, but was doing some kind of research, so decided to come up here also. And when they needed help from a family of herbalists, my mother volunteered me. And then when, my knack for using some little magics, some things I picked up from some of the local shamans, since us herbalists tend to get along with them more than a lot of the other locals. He introduced me to the college. That's neat. A small world. Anyway, sorry I can't be more help. I mean, honestly, a lot of strange things go around up here. There's a lot of, strange monsters and creatures that live up here, and honestly, the farther north you get, the stranger it gets, and more different. And beyond the big thing, which I was asked to look into and keep an eye on, for rumors and stuff, by the college. So it sounds like you're aware of that, at least. I don't heard much, at least lately.
We are also trying to get in touch with the local shaman. I know we met your mayor, Mark.
Mark. Yeah, he's a nice guy. Mayor? Oh, God.
Well, he said he's kind of like the mayor.
Look, gotta be honest, they just shoved a job on him. He's, usually... Yeah, sorry. From amongst the more elder hunters, they choose one person to kind of watch after the town for a number of years, until they have another big meeting of the hunters, which is usually once every, 10 years, so he's been at it for 5, and, honestly, it is a big privilege, so he does take it seriously, at least.
He was going to try to get us an introduction with the shaman, but if you have a closer relationship, maybe your word would also help?
I could see about it. When are you planning on meeting? I could plan to be wherever you're meeting. That might help.
Well, we're staying, what's the dang tavern's name?
Only the one.
The Bloated Whale.
We're staying at the Bloated Whale. We're hoping to depart late tomorrow. but we could extend our time if need be. We just want to try to see if they might have some information on anything going on.
Well, I mean, if you're planning on meeting with the Grim Antler, tomorrow. Will probably be fine. I mean, they don't really do much other than sit at their campsite at the edge of town most of the time, practicing their meditations and a little bit of herbalism.
I'm going to assume it would be a bad idea for us to just go to the campsite today unannounced.
Yes, and also if you don't want to be frozen solid.
Yeah. I don't want to be frozen solid. That's...
No. I don't think we asked your name. I'm sorry.
Oh, Bruna.
Pleasure to meet you, Bruna.
Bruna. And Grim Antler is the Ice Shaman.
Ooh. I am Claud.
Well, Kaz.
Hi, Claud. Hi, Kaz.
I'm Colt.
Okay.
And I'm Carrion.
Did you all come together on purpose?
Look, the first sound thing just happened. Did not plan it.
Okay.
This is also cash. Doesn't help the whole thing.
Okay.
It's a very amusing group, apparently.
Yes. Happenstance.
I thought there was a reason that you were all together, all in the same dorm room or something.
Well, I'm kind of not really fully involved, more of an advisor most of the time.
Well, Kesh and Cole have been more recent joinings to us. The three of us have been traveling together for a few years now.
Huh.
True.
Oh, okay.
We actually did at one point have someone who didn't start with a C or a K in our group.
You had two people.
Had two people.
Yeah.
Didn't last.
Did not last. Alright. You can head back to the inn. One of you can, of course, not head
I'm
back
actually going to ask about how much the cloaks are.
Affordable if you want to get some cloaks, honestly. You guys are, stupid rich.
I'll get one because being cold sucks.
Yeah.
And I'll probably will ask a little bit about this Grim Antler fellow.
Grim Antler is an old shaman. The reason that I think he was chosen was that some of the hunters that originated out of this town and this area helped him out in his youth. So when they were looking for a volunteer to come and be a person that is a go-between between them, he volunteered, I think. He's old and tends to be a little crotchety, but pretty reasonable if you talk with him. He has a fairly kind soul, I think, I would say. If you're
Have you've spoken to him plenty of times, I assume?
Yeah. If I have some questions about, a new concoction for the shop or something like that, or I'm looking for a certain herb that might not be easy to find, I can talk to him about it. He doesn't mind if I show up. I guess, looks at me as a kind of the daughter never had kind of situation a little bit.
Okay, well, if you have a way to get him a message, I suppose it couldn't hurt to let him know that the Sir Cartham would like to speak with him, if possible. He may recognize the name. I've been here before.
Okay. Alright, so, you'll go back to the inn. I'm assuming, Kaz, you'll head back to Hellkite.
Yes.
And you're enjoying some dinner of blubber stew, which is effectively seal, meat, and blubber, boiled down with some very hearty root vegetables in a kind of wine broth with some local spices and stuff. It's actually pretty good. It is hearty, to say the least, because it's, it's made with fat, with chunks of, like, half-rendered fat that are cooked down a little bit, It is hearty, it is probably tasty. And as you're enjoying dinner, though, the door will kind of swing open violently, as, like, some snow and, like, some, like, wind will come in, as a brown and black robed man with this, like, crown of antlers will kind of open the door and kind of just stare at you, Cole, and be like, "Where is that bastard Nim?"
Oh, great.
Oh, I'm on the boat.
Nim. I'm not sure where he's at currently, honestly.
He gets around.
He does travel a bit.
He still owes me 10 bottles of the finest elven wines. And you, weren't you older?
A lot of weird things have happened to me.
Also, where's your lovely wife? She's the only one out of the lot of you that I enjoyed last time.
She's at home still. We're expecting another child.
You really should stop at this age.
He's gotten younger.
That's not an excuse. And who are these young ones you've thrown in with?
This is Claud, this is Carrion. They're helpful.
Bruno will kind of, like, wander in. He just came running over here. Sorry.
People usually have that reaction when they hear my name.
Yes. Nim's errand boy. Well, what mission does the old bat have you on this time? Or is this something personal for once?
A bit of a secret, and then I'll, like, quietly explain why we're here.
Okay.
In hushed tones, because don't want to cause panic.
That does seem to be some issues. Lately, it seems as though your people of the South have been causing issues. My people are in communication across the Great Lands. Even though we rarely meet each other, we can always send a whisper upon the wind. Your help with the great Lagomorph of the North and its awakening was a worthy endeavor. And that help is not forgotten. Many of my people are at worry because of the strange metal dragon which stalks the north now.
Yes, that's part of the reason I'm the way I am.
Don't admit to nothing. Don't talk without a lawyer.
I don't understand. Why would a metal dragon and you being younger be related?
It's a long story. An annoying one.
Was Nim involved?
Not this time, actually.
That does seem to track. He does seem like he would be less likely to get involved with something that stupid. But it sounds as though you were at least incidentally involved.
More of a victim.
Plan not gone completely to plan.
Even when I'm not there, I still get ragged on.
Regardless, it is an issue, but it's not the issue we're looking into now.
All right. And why are you here in the north?
There have been some pretty major disturbances in ley lines since, well, that appeared, not the dragon, a different... I'll explain the thing that appeared in the south. And the signal was found up far north, and we're investigating that to see if it's...
The disturbance in the ley line is something we are aware of. The ley lines are fresh here in the north. They are near to the surface more than many other places across Dominaria. The ice allows them to flow forth more readily. And there have been things long since hidden in the ice, since time immemorial.
Yes, my concern is that more of these may appear, so we're looking for a way to deal with it sooner rather than later. We need to get to it. Is there any information you have that's that far north that could be of use to us?
It is hard to say for sure. The Great North, the wastes of it, go beyond an area where my people will realm. Up there, no grass grows, no bushes, no flowers, no trees. The life which walks there is hardy and deadly. Things that can either feed upon mana directly, or hunt those that find ways to feed. There's little that lives in the north. The energy there is also overpowering to anybody that understands mana and its power. The ley lines well to the surface and energy spills forth across the lands. The auroras are signs of it. Children of the great beast still exist there, hidden in the ice. Her exile from this realm was strong. Her children still remain trapped in the ice in many places. We fear them waking. They may not be strong as the great dark god was, but they still exist here. We ever are watchful. That is domain where you'll be heading towards. The great metal dragon also wandered into those areas. It seems just to remain there, perhaps feeding on the mana. That which wells forth naturally.
Let's see. We are in possession of a way to approach by air, but if the dragon is around, that may prove difficult.
We didn't leave on bad terms.
That's also true.
And it is intelligent. We might be able to talk to it.
I want nothing to do with it.
I meant if we run into it, if need be, we know it can at least be reasoned with.
That's true, yeah.
I'm not saying let's go out and find it and become bosom buddies. But if it happens upon us, we at least know we can talk to it.
Well, bitter cold, ancient beast, and a metal dragon, that seems, pretty standard for us at this point.
No worse than what we've been through.
Perhaps you should inform your friends of the Dark God. I would not mention its name, for I do not seek that curse upon me. But you may be so inclined to speak such a curse. You've always been the brave one in comparison to the rest of the group.
True.
The great Lurgroif, the one we fought, was corrupted by her.
It would be good for you to be aware of that going up there. I'll give him a rundown on that.
All right. Hey, you have knowledge that, there was once a powerful near-divine being called Merit Lodge, which was imprisoned on Dominaria, sent into the Brine Eternities, but horrible spawns and monstrosities that were imprisoned with it in the frozen north still exist here, hidden away.
Wait.
There you go.
Woo.
I'm still on that fucking boat.
Yeah, you have no idea about
that. Send him a message.
Yet.
Hey, you didn't say you sent me a fucking message, so I'm on that goddamn boat.
I just said it. Anyone send him a message.
No one told me to.
Oh, I actually have the spell message.
I'm very fast.
I have the spell message. I could probably just...
I'm definitely farther than 120 feet.
Yeah. I can't communicate with you, so...
I mean, I have sending, but no one told me to do it, so...
Well, I didn't mention, if he's on the boat, we could send word when...
But to be fair, it was very sudden.
It was, and I didn't...
Someone kicked in the door and yelled at me.
Yeah. I mean, Gary, if you want to run and grab...
Please to inform him of the goings-on.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Gonna go grab Kaz.
He should, yeah. He should be there.
Especially you guys are gonna keep blaming me for this dragon.
We didn't mention you.
No, but you implied it.
We just said a plan that didn't go right. We did not blame anyone.
No, you called it idiocy.
I did not. I did not say that.
Rude. I've never done anything idiotic of my whole fucking life.
You're friends with me.
That's not an idiot move. Fuck you.
Pretty foolish. Anyway, I go grab Kaz and bring him back.
Okay.
Flying-wise, so it's fast.
Mm-hmm. There'll be a bunch of people that are kind of point and be like, "What the hell is going on with that flying person?"
Don't worry about
it. Just a demon. Don't worry about it.
What? Like you've never seen a flying demon before.
I'll actually ask Grim Antler, because again, white powerful druid has magic to teleport through trees and shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's a druid thing. Do you think Moon would be of help here? She could get here very easily with her magic.
To be honest, I'm not sure. As I said, the north is a very dangerous area. It's a place that that we do not walk upon.
Yeah.
We fear our presence will awaken something hidden beneath the ice. Our magic will be drawn to it. Its words may drive us mad. Granted, much of that is probably rumors and hearsay, but the threat of anything related to the Dark God and its existence is dangerous. Its corrupted spawn always have been. The sheer mana of the area, too, is overwhelming to those that are not ready for it. It takes years of training. Moon might be ready for such a thing, but honestly, I would suggest perhaps not. She might be more susceptible to those issues. You and your friends might be less susceptible.
Understood.
I can't say for sure, though. If you're looking for something up there, though, something that could have sent a message, there is something I know of. Though we try not to tread there are times which we must head to the north. There are always things to be done. Dangers to take care of, or techniques to learn. Those of us that find ourselves able to face the madness and to become arch-druids among our group must head to the north and commune with the great energy of the pole. I found long ago strange metal ruins in the ice.
Metal ruins.
Be what we're looking for.
It could be.
Quite possible.
It might not be. There could be many things out there. Look, Archdruids have to fist fight a giant elemental column of mana. Not each other.
Yeah, I mean, it's not second edition. Come on, they've updated the rules.
Yeah. It has to fist fight nature.
Yeah, it's got to fight nature.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really good at fighting nature. I bet I could help.
I can fight nature.
Mm-hmm.
You also can commune with it.
Yeah, I commune with my fists.
I can only defy nature.
I think I'm kind of a defiant of nature too, so...
Metal ruins may be what we should seek out.
Agreed.
That sounds close to what we're looking for.
Right.
Also, hi, I'm here now.
Yes,
Welcome
you are.
to the discussion.
Kazzrann, the other one.
You are a small.
You're very observant. I'm also green and have a metal arm for you, talk about those as well.
I have seen green people before, but normally it's a near death.
No, this is just my natural color.
Ah, I thought you were perpetually in a state of dying. That's
No,
good to
that's more Claud's thing.
No, I'm not dead.
No, dying.
I'm not dying. I'm completely healthy. I'm just a little insane.
What I have to deal with now.
Green not dying people and insane people. Sounds
Yes.
about normal for you.
Look, I would have liked to retire, but suddenly I've become young again.
You chose to do this. I don't know what to tell you.
You chose
Not to becoming young.
retirement. I believe
Chose.
last time we met, I joked with you that you would never retire.
Well,
I was never going to retire. I am what I am for all my life.
it seems fate doesn't want me to retire. Or maybe Nim just playing one final joke.
Nim is an immortal. He may deny it, but I doubt that he is not. He will bother us for all eternity, for generations to come. Long after even you pass away in your new young form, your wife passes away, perhaps even after your children pass away, Nim will be laughing and manipulating them in ways that are for the greater good of Dominaria, but just pissed people the fuck off.
Yeah, that sounds like him.
That sounds like that motherfucker.
And sleeping with things.
I'm not aware that he has much sex.
I've never known him to be that kind of person.
He hit on a dragon.
That doesn't mean that.
Listen, it's been a running joke in this entire party for years now, so just go with it.
Doesn't seem like a great joke.
It is hilarious. I
guess you just kind of... Yeah, you had to be there, I guess.
There are better jokes about Nim.
Listen,
I do very much want to hear better jokes.
Dragon is funny.
It is funny to consider that he fucked a dragon.
Or did he get
Why?
fucked?
How would that physically work?
See, that's the thing, is it didn't happen because it couldn't physically work. But we like to joke about it happening anyway.
Uh-huh.
Your jokes
Because
confuse me and are not humorous.
It's a ridiculous situation, and that's why it's funny.
I suppose comedy is subjective.
Comedy is subjective, but you two don't have a very good sense of humor, apparently.
Years of government work will do that to you.
No, I'd never
Calculate,
work.
I am anti-government.
Yeah, I'd never work for the government. Ah, damn it. My father is the government, or he's trying to be.
Is the government.
Also, do not work for a magical college that's effectively a government on its own.
Yeah.
Also, you're technically under the thumb of Nim.
Oh, please.
It's not a
You
government.
You are technically his employees.
Nim is the government in a way.
We're not his employees anymore.
You're currently doing jobs.
Nim is a shadow government.
Also, I've made many decisions he told me not to make. I don't think that counts as being under his thumb. Please.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, I will leave you now. Good luck on your journeys to the north.
Thank you. We'll need them.
Beware what lurks below the ice. That's the only message I can give you.
Yes.
Stay your minds. And do not listen to voices you may hear. There will be whispers out there. From things from beyond time. Creatures that have been locked away in the ice. Since time is far beyond what you would imagine. Great elder beasts of old, which once ruled our world, even feared these things. Those are the stories my people tell. And with that, he'll leave. And, Bruno will be like, okay! That was a weird conversation. Thank you.
We haven't had a normal conversation in a while. They've all been kind of weird.
Yes.
We're used to it.
All right. Was there anything else that you need me maybe to assist you with, or are you okay?
I'm going back to the boat.
I think I'm good personally.
All right. Well, good luck on your journey then, for wherever you're going.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for your assistance.
Sure. She'll head off, and you can rest the rest of the evening. Uneventful after that.
Nice. Yeah.
As I just stare at you two while
That's real weird.
being motionless in a chair.
Just put a blanket over your face.
So I don't have to close my eyes, and I am aware of everything that's going on.
Well, you're aware that a blanket has been thrown over you like you're a pet bird.
I can still hear you.
It also works with crocodiles.
True.
A wet towel over their eyes just calms them right down. Usually. Don't try this at home. They'll bite you.
Yeah.
I tend not to keep crocodiles in my home.
Good. It's illegal.
It's a good plan.
You need like special things.
There's
for
special licensure that you need.
Yeah.
I know because totally at a side story at one of the local farmers market, there was a guy who may or may not still own an alligator.
That's fine, I'm sure.
Because they had it on display as part of like the I guess charm
Just
of
their store, yeah.
Mm-hmm. The alligator's just out front, hanging out all day.
Yeah.
I mean, he was behind plexiglass and everything. So.
I mean,
plexiglass, that'll protect you.
And it was probably well fed too. I mean, honestly.
Yeah. It's not like it was just wandering around in front of the store.
Just casually walking around, you know.
They can jump. You wouldn't think a crocodilian could jump, but
they can.
They got hops.
Also, they are fast. In brief moments. But the thing is, when they decide to be fast, they are fast.
Yeah,
it's true.
Break?
Yeah, that's what I was going to do. After we're done talking about crocodiles. The perfect timing for it.
And alligators.
And alligators. We're going to crocodilians. Gharials, I'm not as sure on, or
Gharials don't fuck with.
Yeah, they got interesting teeth though. Anyway, or caimans. If you need a snack, drink, bathroom break, go ahead and take them, and we'll be back in a little bit. So, here.
It's a series of different...
You've confused me. It's fine. I'm confused.
It's a series of different animated segments.
There's blood cyborgs
there are
and
robots.
monkeys or something. I don't know.
No, it's 12 monkeys.
Oh, yeah, that's 12 monkeys. Oh, okay, it's different. Look, too many weird names for media. Too bad.
Can we have a baker's dozen of monkeys instead?
That's like a bit much.
That's too many. Also, that was a thing. It's like 13 monkeys, or was it 7?
Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, it might have been called 13 monkeys.
I'm pretty sure with
I think it was.
So, you said a baker's dozen of monkeys.
So, yeah.
That was the actual thing.
Yeah, I guess you can.
I summon every session in my Pathfinder game.
TV show is apparently kind of meh, but there was a graphic novel series for it, if I remember.
Yeah,
it was supposed to be pretty solid.
Was supposed to be pretty good, too. Anyway, we're back and distracted
what up?
as usual.
Yeah.
Talking about monkeys.
Baker's dozens worth.
Yeah, apparently talking about Baker's dozens worth. So welcome. Hey, you finished up at the small town of what is it, Scrog?
Scary.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a terrible decision.
All right.
I'm gonna do a sending to my druid wife and see if she has input on this, or just wants to show up. If she thinks showing up is a good idea, so I'll leave it up to her.
Is it a good idea for your pregnant wife?
She's smarter than probably me.
The message back will be probably not smart unless you feel like you really need me. If not, you can always ask me questions if they come up.
Alright, I'll defer to her judgment and not have her teleport.
Okay. She will not. Because she is the smarter one, and is like, I am pregnant. The answer is no.
Intelligence.
She has intelligence and a lot of wisdom. A lot of wisdom.
I don't have either of those. Well, I have wisdom, just not a lot of it.
So, alright. Next morning will come. The dawn will break, and it will be a cold morning around town, because it's always cold, honestly.
It's unfortunate.
It's the frozen north.
Got cloak?
Yeah, they do have a cloak that makes it less cold.
Yes.
Yeah, we got those.
The Endure element means that the cold doesn't... It's not that it doesn't bother you, it's like it doesn't... It's like...
Physically hamper you.
Yeah. It like...
Cold.
It's still cold, but it's not like bad cold. It's like it's just like, man, this just feels uncomfortable. Just like, but I'm not like dying horribly anymore. That's good. So, what's the plan? You consulted a druid. You've consulted a wife. You found some information out.
I guess we're heading to the machine thingy.
I guess Metal Ruins?
Yeah, the Metal Ruins.
Okay.
Like it's Horizon or something.
With the boat that flies in the air.
Right.
Yeah, I am just gonna take off out of the harbor. It was about the first impression that mattered. We're leaving now. It doesn't matter anymore. I'm not coming back here. I'm not coming back here. I don't care.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you'll just take flight. People will be like, "Holy!"
This is the most eventful thing that has happened to this town in God knows how many years.
You're right. It did look weird for a boat. It's because it's not a water boat.
It's a sky boat.
It's a sky ship, motherfuckers. I'm an Ariner.
I know that word's accurate, but it just sounds so interesting.
What, Ariner?
Yeah, Ariner.
I didn't even make that up. That's a thing.
I know it's a thing, but it just...
Cappin' my cappin'.
It just, I like the... It just sounds interesting. It
does.
So, yeah, to the gawks and amazement of the town, you will take flight and head north. It is... If you don't want to push the vessel, like you did before, which is probably not good at this point in time, it's probably, like, just better to sail upon it. It'll be days of travel, honestly, just to sail through the sky to the north.
Yeah.
It will, you'll cross over, of course, the territory of,
at least we don't have to deal with icebergs.
Vindenth? That's just true. You don't. You do have to, probably, sail around gigantic mountains or something, unless you're, way above it in the sky. But then you have to have other issues to deal with, above the clouds and stuff.
Altitude sickness.
Yeah.
And cold, being more cold.
Yeah, and maybe affecting the vessel even more, because it's as cold as it is down the ground, colder up top. It's
Yep. It is designed to weather any storm. Mm-hmm. I can deal with cold.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to, so.
Yeah. Certainly, eventually, the mixture of pine forests, mountains, and tundra will open up to occasional tundras, some ice fields, mountains, and eventually just snow and ice and mountains occasionally. Everything becomes white in the north.
White and gray.
White and gray, an endless expanse of it. Your directions certainly take you towards the pole. And the location you know about is a ways away from the pole. It might be within range of where the signal came from, but again, unfortunately, there's nothing up here to judge an exact location. It's sort of it came from this area. But you'll find...
You want perception checks or anything?
You can give me a perception check if you want to check around to see what's out there.
Sure.
I like making perception checks.
25's not bad.
I'm not good at them.
15 is bad.
15's not bad, though.
Well, no, not when I get plus 11.
Yeah, that's a 4.
20.
Natural 20.
So, Claude, honestly, it's hard to see much out here. It is simple, empty.
I'm getting snow blindness.
Honestly. Kaz, you notice a few unusual things. There are large moving shapes under the ice.
Ice dragons. Don't like that.
Cole and Carrion, both of you will notice. There are things in the sky with you. None seem to be approaching you.
Oh, boy.
Those are definitely ice dragons.
We've got dragons incoming.
I
didn't do it this time.
They seem to be observing you, but not approaching.
Just watching. Seeing what they're doing.
You are a flying vessel in their airspace, which they tend to be the only thing that flies up here.
Probably really weird for them to see.
Yeah. But they're keeping their distance, honestly. But seem to be observing, at least, the situation as it is right now. Eventually, though, you will approach the glacier where the strange metal structure was supposed to be within, and find your way to the crevice of which Grim Antler talked about. You can see there seems to be a massive crack in the glacier that leads down perhaps hundreds of feet into the ice. The crack is certainly not big enough for your vessel to fly down into, of course.
What about the Thopter?
The Thopter might have difficulty.
Yeah.
That makes sense, yeah.
According to Grim Antler's story, he discovered it when he was journeying to the north, head to the magnetic pole for his ritual, where there was a collapse, and he fell into the chasm. Fortunately, he was able to save himself with his magic, and by changing into a bird, he said, before landing on the bottom, where he saw, half buried in the ice, the strange metal structures. They were different than anything else you would imagine was in the ice.
Okay. Interesting.
So what do you want to do? You're above the chasm.
Just get down there is probably a good idea.
How deep down it go?
It's hard to tell. At least a few hundred feet. It's not like a straight up and down chasm. It's like this twisted kind of mesh that's been kind of torn apart by two glaciers being torn apart by natural forces.
If I remember from that time we were in a labyrinth, we have somewhere around 700 feet of rope and rope-like things.
I'm not sure you quite have that much rope anymore, but you have a lot of rope probably if you wanted to.
I think we should use some rope.
You certainly can hover the ship above a crevice and just drop some rope in.
Yeah, I'll park the ship and just have it hover for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I've done archaeology.
You've done archaeology, totally. I'm just gonna. I think all of you are at least trained in athletics to a degree, or have a decent bonus, right?
No,
I have a 6.
No.
I have a -1.
I'm proficient.
All right.
in-
Athletics.
But I can just cling to the rope.
I have climbing gear.
Can carry Kazzrann.
I think I'm not the one you need to worry about. I don't think I'm the one you need to worry about.
I can carry pretty much anyone in this party.
I have a grappling hook, a climber's kit, and a bunch of rope. I can take the time to do this right.
I can just cling to the rope.
Mm-hmm.
If you goop up my rope, I swear to God.
Or again, I could just carry you.
How deep down is it?
You don't know. It goes beyond your vision.
I mean, we could also... 2 of us could get in the the whatever it is now. Carrie can carry that, and then carry Cole separately.
I will tell
I can climb. I'm strong.
Okay.
It's hard to get things that aren't bigger than the entrance to the box in the box. Because it's a box.
Well, I can get into the box easily.
Yes, you can get into the box.
I am regularly in the box.
You made the box big enough for you to squeeze into.
That's why I said the 2 of us could get in the box, and Cole could either be carried or climb down. But if the rope doesn't go far enough down, You might need to be carried.
I can fly.
I mean, I also have a fly spell, and I can teleport.
I can fly without a spell.
It's true. It has
you
wings.
can save your spell, and she can easily carry you.
Let me be useful.
Yeah, you can carry us. It's in your goddamn name.
Carry can
Carry.
That might make me what it is.
True.
All right. You will be able to venture deep into the chasm below. It's like a bitter cold down here. Already, like, there was something, and certainly Carrie, you're feeling it much more than everyone, followed up by Claud, because both of you have very magical natures. Even Cole and Kaz, you can feel it. This place is, like, teeming with energy more. And heading down into the ice, you can just feel it like, honestly, it feels just like oozing out almost. There's energy flowing through the ice that just is immense. Maybe even locked in the ice, honestly. The ice is dark, cold, and there is something disconcerting about everything, too. But soon you will find yourselves towards the bottom of said chasm.
Can I put on the monocle?
Sure.
How weird it look?
It's impossible to discern anything right now. There is mana energy flowing all around you.
Yeah, cool.
I'm keeping an eye out with my magic eyes as well.
Yeah. Can you all give me perception now that you're kind of getting to the bottom of this chasm here?
Sure.
Perception.
That's much better. Not a great roll, but
You
much
know,
better.
I'm gonna use this ability that lightning has kind of reminded me that sorcerers get. I'm gonna spend a sorcery point to reroll that. That's much better.
Okay. Certainly this place it's dark down here. There does some light does come down here. But it's very diffused because honestly the way that the chasm is, it's not a straight up and down chasm, it's kind of like gnarled in very strange ways, and so there is some reflection of light through the ice that brings it down here. But it's dark, and the shadows just seem immense. The chasm goes on for a direction, both kind of split between this southwest northeast route that it seems to follow through it. And you don't see any signs of the wreckage, the ruins that you heard about yet. The chasm does go on for a distance. But out of you, Claude, you begin to notice something. Within the shadows of the ice are dark shapes. They do not move. They're just there. Strange shapes deep in the ice.
Nothing coming magical, though, right?
It's hard to tell. There's so much magical energy around you at this point in time.
Yeah. I will point out that there's some dark shapes in the ice that aren't moving.
Well, that's concerning. Might be those, dark god-related things.
Or it could just be stuff frozen in the ice.
I think I missed the whole dark god part of the discussion.
Oh, I'll explain it later.
Okay. Great.
Name should not be mentioned here.
Understood. Will not ask for it.
Do these shapes have familiar looks to them now that they've been pointed out?
You can't tell.
Okay.
The thing is, they're deep within the ice, and it's sort of like Claude managed to kind of notice them in amongst the little bits of light and shadows that were here. Sort of, he was able to discern, there are things deep in there, but it's probably like dozens of feet deep into the ice. Honestly, that these shapes seem to be at. None seem close to the surface here, at the very least.
I'm hoping that means that, there, whatever it is, it's inactive.
Hopefully not.
That it's inactive?
That they're not going to get up and kill us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That I'm hoping that it's inactive.
We can hope. Only one way to find out, though.
Mm.
Do not mess with these.
Yeah. Let's just let sleeping things sleep.
Lame, but okay.
I've already dealt with this problem once. If it's them, I don't intend to deal with it again.
We have bigger fish to fry. No pun intended.
Okay, let's fry Kaz.
No, me, you asshole.
You can continue down the chasm. And eventually, you will see what looks to be an opening in the ice down here. Some kind of ice cavern. There is what looks to be a river down here. A river through the ice. It seems to have almost cut a large hole through it and unearthed something here. Strange metal structures are here. Of course, there's also something else here. Half emerged from the ice is some thing.
Oh.
Still seems frozen. But half of a face is outside. Whatever this creature is, its head, as it seems to be, is eyeless. It is almost bulbous and mostly a mouth with 3 rows of sharp fanged teeth. Strange tendrils seem to emerge from around this mouth, embedded in the ice. And you can tell that it looks at the end of each of these tendrils seems to be eyes of some kind. Claws and tentacles seem to be half emerged from the ice also.
Awful.
Bad.
It's also like gargantuan sized.
Yeah, no, that checks out.
Yeah, I don't need that in my life. I don't need that in my life.
Knowledge something?
Sure.
Arcana.
Let's
Religion?
go with Arcana.
Cool.
Actually, no.
Okay.
History would also work, but I would give you a disadvantage on the history.
Well, I'll try Arcana
Does
first.
this look like a thing I've encountered?
Not really.
Okay. I will not roll.
That is not a bad Arcana check.
It's not good enough, I will tell you.
The 22 is not good enough?
No.
What about a 27?
Maybe.
I'll give you the 27.
Alright.
Ooh,
You're welcome.
thank you.
I'll tell you.
Contributed.
Up to you what you want to say to others, but this is based on knowledge that you have combined with what Cole told you. You remember stories of an ancient cult that used to exist on Dominaria in the time at the end of the Ice Age. You heard tales of it. And the reason that is less, kind of connected to history, cults have been around for a lot. The reason you're remembering it now is that they were said to worship a strange ancient beast of unfathomable horror. And its name is what Cole mentioned. Merit Lodge.
You don't say that.
Yeah.
You don't say.
I will say, Cole, it is, I do what you told us about.
This thing,
No, please don't touch anything.
you feel like might be some kind of spawn, servant. Perhaps during the time free that it was free upon Dominaria before it was imprisoned in the ice, it had its own creatures that served it. Its own spawn.
Yeah, don't touch anything.
For those of you that are wondering, Merit Log has been debated to be something very Eldrazi-like. It might not. It might be. It might be something different. They have similarities.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
For once, don't mess with these.
Also, I think it's sort of free, but it's also like on Amonkhet, which is like a dead plane or something. I was looking up at it. They did something in the comics where it was like, free. It was basically people threw the ice chunk it was trying to wake out of with into the blind eternities, and it was kind of stuck out there. And it's the kind of thing that doesn't die to that.
Yeah.
But certainly stuff that was there with it was still embedded in the ice. There might be a reason that there's a massive ice cap that never goes away on the top of Dominaria. You never know.
It's because of, that's just like how it works.
So I'll say I think it's a servant of it.
It doesn't currently look alive. But then again, you're not sure how this thing would live anyway.
Proceed with caution.
Yeah. The ruins seem to be of a number of dome structures. One of which seems to be half emerged from the ice, in particular. So, what do you want to do?
Well, I guess that's what we're coming to see.
Anything else around besides that and the horrible monsters?
No.
Okay.
This definitely does seem like ruins of some type.
I think we go into the ruins, or the only other option is leave.
Do the ruins appear Thrannian?
They could be. The structures are very simple. They're simple, like, metal dome structures.
Oh, yeah. Did we bring...
Yeah, we brought cash.
Sure.
I would hope so.
I would assume so.
Just forgot cash, yeah.
I would never forget cash. Usually.
Does this look familiar to you, Cash?
It could be familiar. The thing is, I only heard about these places. If we were inside, I could tell you more. But the outside is certainly not like anything I recognize off the top of my head.
I mean, if you want, I could see if I could find a way in for us.
Let's be careful about this.
I think we should move as a group.
Well, I'm more worried about traps. That's why I'm saying I could at least
I'm
take
more worried
lead.
about these things waking up.
Yes.
We're going to take this slowly and with proper precaution. This is the second time in a few months that I've been allowed to use my archaeology skills, and I'm not going to squander it.
And I have had to kill way more of these things than I ever wanted to.
All I'm saying is let me take the front and look where we're walking.
Alright.
You can approach the structure. As I said, it seems as though these structures were engulfed in the glacier. The metal domes seem to be kind of like... the one that's half emerged from the ice, more than the others, seems to be mostly flat still. Some of the other ones, you can tell like they're like... they probably would have been on effectively the ground, but now they're like been moved in strange like angles and stuff, and almost as if they're all squished together a little bit. So certainly there's damage to some of them. And they mostly look intact, as if maybe like something happened and they were just engulfed in the ice. As I said, this one, half outside of the ice. Might not have been for all time, but now a good half of it is outside of the ice. there is what looks to be some kind of entrance on the side.
I am going to look around that area and make sure there's no traps.
It has a simple hatched door, similar to the submersible style. So, like, spin a thing to, like, close it in the front of it.
Hey, what's the word for that? Bulkhead.
A bulkhead.
Yeah.
The outside is a simple bulkhead door, it seems like. This doesn't appear to be a main entrance, just by looking at the architecture on the side of it. This may be more for, like, probably maintenance or something. But it seems to be intact. And the bulkhead seems relatively in decent condition.
Doesn't seem like there's anything in the area.
You don't see anything?
And nothing magical.
No.
It looks like it's safe to try.
I will take the lead on that one. On trying. This is archaeology.
Mm-hmm.
Does the door open?
Yeah. It takes a bit. And certainly it's probably like a little frozen, but you can get it open up.
Alright.
Entering into the inside, it is, of course, dark and cold and icy. It seems to be like a old walkway. Ice and icicles still remain in here, as it looks as though there were containers of material that were stored right inside here. The containers are frozen, partially encased in ice. Like, it seems like everything inside this initial hallway, as it leads deeper into the structure. After about 20 feet is another bulkhead door.
I think Cole's the only one out without dark vision.
I have dark vision.
Oh, you have dark vision. Okay, then we all are fine.
Because Sorcerer bloodline.
Ah. Nice.
It's just a door at the end of this hall.
Yeah, another door.
And nothing else weird in this hallway.
No. As I said, there's some containers in here, but they're all like
That are frozen.
Yeah, you could try to get the ice off of them, but they are like. It looks as though perhaps like there is the sound of like a little bit of like water dripping through here. Perhaps the same river which opened up this tunnel still has some flows through here, and probably cleared out a lot of the ice that might have been in here, if there was ice in here at all. You're not sure how frozen it was.
As of why some of the stuff is
Yeah.
in ice.
Yeah.
I think we maybe just go forward.
Agree. I'll check out this door just to be safe on the safe side.
Sure.
There we go.
You take a look over it just to make sure like there's nothing that like screams trap, but you don't recognize anything that even looks like that.
Okay.
I take a look, since I have a little more experience with, ancient architecture and bullshit.
Sure. You don't see anything?
Great, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't hurt to double check.
Mm-hmm. You can open up this second partition. It's still cold inside. This place feels, honestly, colder than it did outside, which is strange because you were cold on the surface, even colder down in the chasm, and even colder even now. Your endure elements still is enough. with your cloaks. But it feels just barely at this point in time, as you're in some kind of frozen ice box, it feels like, honestly. The first thing that greets you is what appears to be a partially ice-encased corpse leaning against a back wall. This partition bulkhead leads into, like, it looks to be a circular hallway, which goes on the outside of this dome structure. And across from it is a corpse.
Does it look humanoid?
Yeah, it's frozen, emaciated, partially encrusted in ice.
No, that's a lovely sight.
It's definitely dead.
It looks
Yes.
like...
Well, it could be undead, but it's very frozen. Like, if it wasn't undead, it's dead, at least.
It's definitely a stiff.
Yeah.
I don't trust it.
No, it's like a little messed up.
Well, if it's encased in ice, it's not going to just jump out, so...
It could.
Been watching enough Resident Evil lately. It totally could.
Yeah, I've played Skyrim.
I've played Dead Space 3. They literally jump out of the ice in that one.
We've all played enough video games.
What's a video game?
It's like a normal game.
Nerds play.
Yeah, fucking
It's a nerd.
They're little candies.
Yeah, it's a pretty good candy.
It's fine.
The best way to enjoy it is as a shot.
Well, I just say let's just leave it.
It looks like just a corpse that was just frozen there.
As far as you
Not
can
that
tell,
I have the medicine skill to tell.
as far as you can tell, yes.
Just to cover all bases, look at it through the monocle.
Nothing special other than corpse.
Yeah, I mean, I also have my magic vision always going, so...
You have
Hey,
noticed inside the dome, there's far less energy. It's sort of like outside, there was a kind of overwhelming mana that made it very difficult for either of you to use your items. It seems to have stabilized a lot more inside the dome, as if the dome is honestly blocking a lot of that.
Okay, so this might be some... The materials might be shielding energy somewhat in some fashion.
Too much mana can probably have ill effects on anybody that's living in an area like this for long periods of time.
Yeah.
It's
probably
sort of,
not healthy.
yeah. Especially if this is Thoranian, they also use magic technology. That would probably have bad interference if you have too much energy basically naturally flowing in. Like, yes, gathering mana from the air and from the nearby environment is not very effective, but it could have damaging effects on, magical technology.
Sure.
The corpse, does it have any clothing on that we can see?
Yeah, it seems to have some kind of clothing. Unfortunately, it's like kind of tattered, ice covered. It's hard to tell what kind of clothing it is.
Regardless, does Cash recognize anything now that we're further inside?
That's what I was going to ask next.
This design certainly could be Thoranian. It's just the architecture of the hallway. But this is very sterile. I was only over to a couple of hospitals and maybe a laboratory or two with my father years ago, before everything happened to me, when I was much younger. I don't quite recognize everything. You have to remember, before I slept, I was just a normal person. It was the accident that, when he rebuilt me, that he put me into stasis. Until I woke up and, realized a little bit of what everything he'd done. And also met some nice Artificer people. Well, mostly nice.
I guess Continuing on.
Lead the way.
If this place is indeed Thrannian, they'll probably be sectored out into a... each of the domes would have had a different purpose. Probably different scientific purposes, I would assume. Because each of these individual ones should have... most scientific areas had living space, a control center, and then maybe like a scientific laboratory. Usually, depending on what's going on, a couple other rooms, I would think. But it's hard to remember everything from my experiences as a kid, you know? So let's, I guess, look for some doors. So you want to go left or right along this hallway?
Right, we're dungeon crawling. You always go right.
Mm-hmm. Alright, you'll head down the hallway for a while, and there will be a door leading into a more internal area of the dome structure. Investigating this indeed does seem to be a kind of living quarters of some area. The place is frozen very well. You'll find 2 more frozen bodies in here. Both of them seem to be in bed. There does seem to be small bits of, like, personal items, all frozen or damaged. And it seemed as though, like, the living quarters here weren't, like, full rooms. It was almost like an area where there was a kind of, like, probably, like, kitchen-y area, a kind of dining area, a small, like, living room area, and then these halls of, like, partitioned cots, like, kind of built into the walls. So sort of like, you know, that, like, the hole in the wall kind of cot, except, like, you had, like, a, maybe, like, something you could put in front of it or something when you were sleeping.
I've done those before.
Yeah. And, like, you know, built into the walls, like, drawers underneath where you can, like, keep, like, clothes or extra clothes and, like, personal things. It's very sterile.
Very pod hotel.
Yeah, very pod hotel.
Understood.
Mm-hmm. Continuing down that way, you will find something that seems a little bit more interesting. What appears to be a control center. This goes up a flight of stairs to an upper area of the dome. Probably the top of the dome where the control center really was. Half the room is still encased in ice. But a chunk of it is still outside of the ice. So there's like a wall of ice that is in half of this room. You can see that there is a couple of frozen corpses here with you, and a couple more still in the ice on the other side.
Anything magical?
Yes, there does seem to be some magic here. From what you can tell, the magic seems to flow through the area, and you're finally detecting it in here. You think it's some kind of power system, honestly.
Kaz, I think there's some kind of magical power system that's flowing.
Monocle.
What you think is true. Wherever the power stone source of this place was, or how, you know, whatever power source they were using to energize it, whether it's power stones or something power stone derived, it looks like it still has a level of power that's flowing into this chamber here at least. Most of the other chambers you've been in seem dead of power.
Mm-hmm.
We could try to track its source.
We could. The last time we did that was in the fucked up mansion. But it is possible. I want to see what it's flowing into first.
It seems to be flowing into a number of panels. Like control panels. Each of them with strange, controls of like buttons, toggles, and things like that, you know.
Anything written on it?
Yeah. There are some things written on it. All of it is in ancient Thranian.
I can read that.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I will take some time and comprehend. Or actually, wait. Comprehend languages.
You don't need to. It's fine. I can translate.
Well,
Sorry.
Of the panels that are outside of the ice, one of them that seems to be halfway in ice appears to have been the main controls for controlling the environment inside the dome. It's halfway encased in the ice. So, I mean, honestly, you ain't getting into that.
Like it was a pretty shitty panel for controlling it if it got encased in ice.
I mean, something went wrong, definitely.
Pretty shitty panel.
One of the other panels seems to be a communication system. And the last panel seems to be a what was looking like it was keeping track of information, it looks like.
is the communication system actually operating? Because that might be what we detected then.
Oh, the signal.
No, it's not active.
Not
Okay.
that.
But it does seem to be able to be turned on.
I want to turn it on.
I don't
Okay.
know if that's...
Wait, no, I'm saying this out loud to the group. I'm not actually turning it on yet.
Yeah.
Don't
know
fuck
if
with us yet.
it's a great idea.
I mean, we might be able to intercept any signals being produced, but we don't know if it might also send a signal out,
Yes.
is the issue. We don't want to alert anything that...
We're poking around with similar things.
Mhm. We could alert them. It's true. We could also learn more details about what they're planning.
Do you see any way to make sure that we're not broadcasting?
If I take 10 minutes
Mm-hmm.
to sense and analyze Artifice, would I be able to piece together how to work it?
Yeah, you can take some time. Piece of basically basic controls. You
Need to
kind
get
of
some
like
help from Cash.
you can get some help from Cash, which definitely will assist. You get the idea that activating it, because it is powered, and at least that will not send out a signal.
Nice.
That's the easy thing. So you can get some information. It should have basically listed where you can connect to.
I do that.
All right. You'll kind of activate it, basically, get some power on. It seems as though signal strength, by looking at it, isn't great anyway. Like, if you wanted to broadcast a signal through,
Hundreds of feet of ice.
yeah, honestly. You might be able to get some kind of signal out. It seems as though originally there was a list of about half a dozen locations it was connected to. It seemed to be 5 science stations, which each have like a code attached to them, like number, letters, code attached to them. And there's a location that main science colony Drestian.
Wouldn't be able to, like, get a map, would I?
Not on this terminal.
Not on this terminal.
There was an information terminal that I mentioned was here.
Yeah. Yeah, let's get that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can access the information terminal then. It is damaged heavily.
Great.
But honestly, like, it's systems which seem to be like a like it's like that 3D illusionary magic display kind of thing that pops up. That's a little like scrambled, but sort of still exists. And then you kind of like use like a number of switches and toggles to kind of navigate like a vague computer system almost. Very weirdly alien, but you can kind of navigate it. And it takes you a little while, but you will be able to discover there is a regional map. You can tell in comparison, you figure out that you're at another science station. So there was 5 other science stations and a main science colony that seemed to be in the center of all these stations. The colony itself seems to be about 2 miles west of the
the crevice?
Technically, I would say like 10 miles to the west of you, within 2 miles of the North Pole. The actual pole.
Cool. Do I have, from this information terminal, any information about, like, if any of them are active right now?
No. This place seems cut off from everything else.
Yeah, we'd probably have to go to Drestian to get that info.
You can find some information out that seems to talk about the last days of this location.
Oh, yeah, give me that history log.
Sure.
Give me that fucking, like, Horizon Zero Dawn ass.
So, it seems as though, there's some, like written logs that were added into the system from whoever was the commander of this, base, basically, this science station. They seemed worried that, the effects of the Civil War would find them way north here. Drestian seemed to plan to cut all communications out. And it seems as though one of the final logs talks about how Drestian did just that. They cut off all communications and connections with the other science stations even. Especially when the threat of infiltration seemed to be the word into various locations. The last log talks about suspected sabotage of the station.
That fucking shitty panel.
No. What seems to be the last thing that you can find is there is a log in the system that seems to detect the detonation of some kind of device.
Bad.
Basically,
like whatever happened here seemed to happen quickly.
Yeah.
Maybe some kind of, honestly, frost bomb. Something that might be amplified by the fact it's already cold here and there's a lot of extra mana in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Seems like, something that would generate a lot of cold magic, would be amplified in this area easily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why, freaking ice shamans come up here and live. The usual. It's the frozen north. It's a perfect place to learn ice magic.
I don't have any of that.
Yeah, that's not really great for you.
No, I'm only fire magic.
Yeah, not very helpful for you.
I can make my magic ice magic.
But I mean, it logically says something that you, as a person that uses fire magic, hey, in areas where your element is very strong, your element can be stronger. Huh. So,
in Shiv, if I was casting, Scorching Ray.
By a volcano, it might be more powerful, because the volcano is a massive magical source of fire-based energy.
Yeah. That's why Urborg is so full of undead.
They also have volcanoes, but, they're
Also have volcanoes.
Yeah. Urborg's just unpleasant all around. Undead swamps and volcanoes.
Swamp-cano.
They kind of are. Anyway.
I'd watch that movie.
I don't want to look it up. There might be a swamp-cano.
Oh, I'm looking it up now.
It probably is. That sounds like something that exists.
Sounds like a sci-fi original.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, why don't we leave it there? That's a perfect point. You've learned of a couple other locations you could possibly check out. This does not seem to be the source of your signal, but it wasn't. There are a number of other, basically, bases that exist around here, and you have their locations. Where do you plan on going? What is there? A science station, Drestian itself?
The moon.
That seems difficult.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, well. I think Drestian would probably be the best bet.
Mm-hmm.
If there was research done at the other science stations, it would be transmitted to Drestian. If it was like the central location, that's like where the central data hub would be. So
yeah,
we'd at least be able to learn what else is active and where to go.
Yeah. All right. Let's give shout-outs. Mads, do you have anything to shout out?
Hi, I'm here.
Mm-hmm. Fish.
Hi, everybody. I'm Fish Harlan. This week, you can find me adding to my Lego menagerie. I've got a goddamn crocodile and a fucking robot.
Mm-hmm.
Next are Vikings.
Ooh, Vikings.
Vikinger.
Momo.
Hi, you can catch me here on Wednesdays where I play various pirates, or on Saturdays for discussing tabletop.
Yeah. And Joseph.
Ah!
I think
I'm here.
It's okay. He's mostly dead. Don't worry about it, kids. He's only mostly dead. He'll be fine.
Oh, that means I'm somewhat alive. So I could take the magic pill from
Miracle Max.
Princess Bride, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm fine with you doing that. You just have to find Miracle Max. Good luck on that one. I'm not telling you where he's at.
Well, I can't find him anyway if I'm mostly dead.
I can't help you, man. I got work. Sorry.
That's your problem. No, who's gonna help find Miracle Max for you then? You're mostly dead.
And then shove the pill down my throat.
Yeah, see? Yeah, just not easy there. Anyway. As for myself, this is Dracovin. I am here most days. You can find me here tomorrow. I'll do... I promised it. Pathfinder Wrath of Righteous. That'll be tomorrow's game. Just in the morning. Should be trying for special Sunday show of discussing tabletop because I'm going to be busy on Saturday. I'm seeing about that if they got people. And then the normal schedule should be resumed next week. I'm going to probably be finishing up Final Fantasy 12, honestly. I'm very close to being done that game. I've got a couple other non-RPG related things loaded in the wings after that, just so that I've been doing a lot of RPG stuff lately, and I feel like getting some other variety is good there, too. I got a couple things in the wings. And then, of course, more Buccaneers on Wednesday at 9 p.m. EST, where there's more horribly cursed fortresses to explore, and Cyclopses to meet. And this show, where they're going to visit another icy place, because they're always so pleasant. All the frozen places, so pleasant.
Yep.
Anyway, I think that's it then. So, thank you for joining us. It was fun. It was good. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be back next week. So until that time in the future, farewell to you all. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Do svidania.